Hello everyone and welcome. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the best tool you can use for your lawn care side hustle. Here's the story. Last summer, I really wanted to get into landscaping as a side job. I had done a couple properties here or there, and I do lawn care at in my own property, and I really enjoy it, so I wanted to take this experience and see, is this a way I can make money outside of my main job? I work a 9 to 5 in an office, so this was also a benefit in terms of being able to get outside after sitting in an office all day, getting out and enjoying some fresh air, while also making money doing something I enjoy doing. So when you first start thinking through what it's going to take to start a lawn care side job, or even if you're going full time, is all the pieces that you're going to need. You're going to need a trailer, you're going to need a lot of different equipment, you're probably going to need, or you will need a vehicle to tow your trailer. So there's a lot of different moving pieces, and it's easy to get caught up in spending all the money on all the cool new tools that you'll need. I would recommend going low-key, spending as little as possible, buying used if you can. My first trailer, my only trailer, was actually from an old camper I bought off a guy for like $200. That $200 may sound expensive, but it came with a title, and in my state where I'm at, getting a trailer with a title alone is like $200. So that saved me a considerable amount of money, and I went to the local Lowe's and I just cut up some plywood and made my own trailer, essentially. So start small is a recommendation, but to get to the best tool that I found, had nothing to do with equipment, wasn't the trailer, wasn't the vehicle. It was actually the software tool I used to track everything for the business. This tool is called Yardbooks. If Yardbooks sounds familiar, it's because it's named very close to a tool called QuickBooks, which is the accounting software. Yardbooks is very similar to QuickBooks in terms of it handles a lot of your customer information and a lot of your accounting. First, I'll say I am not sponsored by Yardbooks in any way. I just found their tool to be incredibly helpful, and two, it's free. So you can't go wrong using this. It's a very robust tool that you can use to really keep your business organized. It can keep track of all your customer information, including what are you charging them, where are they located, what is their address, what are specific details. All the information is housed right there in Yardbooks under one of their tabs. You can also send out the invoices. So if you have an invoice, you can either email it to them. I oftentimes, if they're in the neighborhood, I would just print off an invoice and stick it on their door before I'd leave the property. And you can also use this for estimates. You can walk around the property and see what it's going to take, and then go put an estimate together and then send them an official estimate. So Yardbook is pretty robust. I'll let you go ahead and set up an account and check it out for yourself if you are interested. Again, it is free, but here are two areas that I found it to be the most helpful. The first area was in business organization. There are so many moving pieces to a small business, especially when you have your own life to handle. And in my case, it was a side job. So I had my main job as well that I was, working on every day. So keeping all the little details in a neat, organized place, I knew if I needed to know anything, I would just log into Yardbooks and more or less it would all the information would be there. Also, what really helped was this was a way that my wife really pitched in and helped. I would go off and do a property or give an estimate, and I would be texting my wife details or just come back after doing a job and relay the information onto her, and she was going in half the time and making sure everything was being tracked properly. So it can be a tag team effort between you and your spouse. For me, that was actually very helpful to have my wife keeping track of a lot of the details along the way. The second and more important area that Yardbooks significantly helped me on was the profit and loss statement. And the way that this helped was every time I had an expense or every time I had income come into the business, I tracked it. And then you pull up your profit and loss and you see for the month of June, I had all of these expenses, but I also brought in X amount of dollars. The month of July and the month of August, and you try seeing, okay, if I can get this one property to go every week rather than every other week, even if I reduce the price by $5, at the end of the day, I'll still make X amount of dollars more versus what I'm currently doing. Or a better way in which it helped was keeping my spending on track. When you're in the middle of things, it is so easy to look on Craigslist and start thinking, I could buy this, I could buy that, and all these things could be very valuable in helping me build my business. But at the end of the day, it really helped me check my spending to make sure I was really buying the tools that I absolutely needed. Because I'd look and say, hey, I might need this tool. But then once you look at your profit and loss statement, you may think, well, it might take me 3 or 4 more jobs to get this tool paid off. Is it really worth it? Do I really want to spend that? In one thing you can look at is pull up Craigslist halfway through the summer and look at the farm and garden section. You will see so many times there will be a full trailer full of brand new lawn care equipment of someone who went out and bought all the cool tools that are associated with lawn care and then didn't have the properties, didn't have the income coming in, turned around and just gave up on it and is now trying to sell it at a steep discount. This only hurt the person who tried doing this. So if you use yard books and you use in the way that I did here and tracking your spending and tracking your income, it really kind of level sets the playing field and helping you recognize exactly what should you be spending and what should you not be spending. Actually, at the end of the season, I was down one weed whacker and I was using an electric one that could only get me through one property. So I thought, hey, you know what? I need to go get a new weed whacker. But I realized it was August. If I could just make it through the end of August and then through September, I wouldn't need to get a new weed whacker because the season was kind of going to be coming to a close soon. I was going to cut it off around October timeframe. And so by doing that, I recognized, hey, I could save, maybe $200 on a weed whacker by just using what I have. If it functions, just making it work for the time being. So yard books help me keep all of my customer information really accurate and very clean and organized. And then 2, it really helped me keep my spending in check to make sure I wasn't overspending on the business, which again, it can be very easy to do once you're caught up in doing different jobs. You're going to different properties and people are asking you to take on different jobs. You can say, oh yeah, I can do that. And then you go buy a tool for that specific job. Then you realize, was it really worth it? This really helps you keep things organized. And sure, you want a good trailer, you want a reliable mower, handheld equipment, you definitely want that to be reliable as well. You can look for deals here and there on all those things, but I would argue that yard books being free and impacting every area of the business is the most important tool that you can have for your lawn care business. So to conclude, if you're looking at starting your own lawn care side hustle or even a full-time job, think through and assess what are the tools that I need, but definitely consider yard books as a tool that will definitely help your business grow. Thank you for listening, and please like and subscribe.